the first part of the series we did NFC roster reset. This time we're looking at the other half of the NFL, the AFC, and asking a burning question for each and every squad throughout the conference. What's up? It's your boy Cintron coming back with another analysis / news video. And I kid you not, that's my real name. I don't know if there's gonna be any news today. We're gonna do some speculation, but anyways, yeah, we'll get into some news. Let's look at the AFC roster reset. Biggest signings, losses, burning question for each team ahead of the 2023 NFL draft, and that's next week. Thursday, I think it might be Thursday for me, Wednesday for you guys in America. But anyways, let's get into it. We're not gonna hierarchy. So we'll start with the AFC East here. They were able to hold on to some of their players, bring in guys like Taylor Rapp, re-sign Jordan Poyer, bring in Connor McGovern over from the Cowboys, and they lost a couple guys. James Crowder, not such a big deal. Devin Singletary could be. Tremaine Edwards definitely could be. Can the Bills finally make the Super Bowl run, man? This is a big question. Have they improved enough? I don't think they have. We'll see what they do in the draft, but they need to add some more artillery to that offense to aid Josh Allen in his pursuit of a Super Bowl appearance, not just, also run. I mean, for them, it's defeating the Bengals and defeating the Chiefs. If they can defeat those two squads, they punch a ticket to the Super Bowl. Because those are going to be the guys that are going to be there year after year after motherfucking year, especially that wonder kid, Mahomes, man. Can they do it? They're the team to beat in the AFC East, so they have a good head start as far as the probability of them punching their ticket to the playoffs with winning the division. Winning the division, you get that ticket, and then you reset. Everybody is on, that makes it is on an even playing field, and you got to like the Bills' chances. Can the defense also step up as well? We'll see. Miami Dolphins, they're competing for second place. They'd have to do a lot to upset the division favorites, the Bills, the team above. They did bring in Jalen Ramsey, good addition. They have a solid pairing there, cornerbacks. Held on to Raheem Mostert, brought in David Long from the Titans. Mike White, it makes for a very good backup. They definitely need him after Tua, took a couple vacations to the sideline this past season in very public fashion, in front of the public eye. Biggest loss, Eric Rowe, not really. Mike Gesicki, yes, could be addressed. Burning question for them: can the Dolphins get a full season out of Tua Tagovailoa? That is yet to be seen. Can they protect him, man? Those concussions are nothing to play with. That could definitely be career-threatening for him. He took 3, at the very least, that we know of last year, and one of them had his fingers in a lock like this. It just looked really bad. I mean, it was really bad. Just you could see the brain damage quite literally in front of you. The evidence is right there. Psychologists, and physiologists breaking it down as to why that was not just a bad look, but a sign of some permanent damage he did there. Gonna have a hell of a CTE when he retires, and they get that brain out of that skull. But that being said, you like the 1-2 punch at receiver. The running back, can they get more stable? Mostert, he's an explosive guy, but is the line good enough? I don't know, to protect him. And will he take the next step this offseason? He didn't have that much in season, even though he was on the sideline. But in-game, live experience, nothing compared to that. Nothing can beat that. I don't know. They can dethrone the champs in their division, but we shall see. Anyways, moving on to the New England Patriots. They're fighting for last place here, man. And Mac Jones, not the quarterback that you want. They brought in Juju Smith-Schuster. Is he really an upgrade over Jacoby Myers they let leave? I would say just, at the very least, at the very best, it's an even exchange. I think Jacoby brings more than Boo Boo. Mike Gesicki, nice steal from your division opponent in Miami. Jonathan Jones, nice re-signing him. Jabril Peppers, I think they re-signed him. Ryder Reef could be a good addition. James Robinson could be an underrated one. Like some of the losses they have here. Nelson Aguilar, decent for them. Damon Harris, underrated. And Jacoby Myers, definitely underrated. But the question for them, can the Patriots prove to the 2022 was just a bump in the road? Nope. It's just a speed bump. they're not going anywhere this year, this next year, because it all really depends on, like you said, here for Mac Jones, and I don't think he unlocks the tools, he has the wherewithal, the maturity to advance to a degree where he can lead this team, pull them by the nose. He maybe takes a step forward, but still not going to be enough when you have Josh Allen, Tua with that explosive offense to deal with, and that's still only 3 teams. I keep forgetting the New York Jets. This is a team that could fall either way. They could take a huge step forward, or they could remain stuck in the mud, or take a slight step backwards. It all depends on Aaron Rodgers, man. They brought in Mecole Hardman and Alan Lazard, his steady wide receiver there in Green Bay. Linebacker Quincy Williams, solid. Chuck Clark, very good, and stole a punter. Thomas Morstead, interesting. Elijah Moore, they lost him. Sheldon Rankins, semi-big loss. I mean, a decent loss. Mike White, definitely some insurance there. Would have been great for Aaron Rodgers to have him back him up. And Dan Feeney, decent. But burning question, can the Jets make sure that the Aaron Rodgers era is worth the hassle? I definitely think they can. They have a solid defense, one of the better ones Aaron will have the luxury of playing with. Can they get the compensation right, and how long is this saga going to drag out? Because we kind of need things to move along. But I mean, that being said, this could be. I think it might happen during the draft weekend, but definitely not post draft. I don't think so. They don't think want to play with picks next year, so it'll be compensation for this year in 2023. But that being said, they have a lot of tools around him. He's an experienced quarterback. He'll be able to get the ball to those guys, and maybe add a few weapons. I don't know, maybe tight end for him, upgrade that position. But I mean, take another quarterback away from the NFC. I would love that. Make it less competitive for us, to get back to the Super Bowl. So Eagles. I know when you're talking about the Eagles, it's AFC, but I still want us in the conversation. Next, AFC North, the Baltimore Ravens. They're not the favorites to win this division. Definitely not. They're fighting for second and maybe going to be in third place. They added Odell Beckham and Nelson Aguilar, the former being a great addition, the latter being a good number 3. Justice Hill, they re-signed him. They lost Calais Campbell, Ben Powers. I mean, that's a big loss on the line there. Big question for them, what's next with Lamar Jackson? So do they re-sign him? Odell, new shiny toy. But if Lamar's not there, then, he'll just be playing with whoever. He's got his money, $15 million guaranteed on a 1-year deal, $18 million with incentives possible. But what are they going to do with Lamar? Are they going to draft a quarterback? Are they going to retain him? Are they going to, put more weapons around him? Because Odell shouldn't be the end-all, be-all. What do? I don't have an idea, but that's a big decision for them. Do they go for a similar replacement, slower but more sturdily built guy in Anthony Richardson, or do they go with a more traditional guy like Will Levis or something like that, or do they just stand pat? That is the key to this offseason for them. So definitely without him, they take a step back. With him, they could still be fighting, like I said, for second and placing third. Competitive division here with the Cincinnati Bengals, man. They made some moves. They're trying to get over the hump and saying, like, man, I'm tired of, Josh Allen and Mahomes, haunting us. So we got to make some moves while our quarterback is in that window, man. Because they got to sign, they're going to sign most likely Joe Burrows to an extension this season or next season. And the longer you wait, the more it's going to cost. So biggest additions here. Orlando Brown, they sold him from the Chiefs. Nice. Jermaine Pratt, I think they re-signed him. Irv Smith brought him in from the Vikings. From the Patriots, I want to say. So a nice sneaky tight end addition there. Good release valve for the quarterback. Biggest loss is Jesse Bates, Von Bell, so they lose their starting pair of safeties. Hayden Hurst, that also hurts. Samaj Green, the third down back or third stringer. So replaceable. But the big question for them, can the O-line stay healthy enough to push the Bengals back to the Super Bowl? Man, that is a huge question because they were ailing. The left tackle was hurt. They had like three offensive linemen missing in the AFC Championship game, and which really hurt them because, the D-line in Kansas City ain't too shabby, wasn't too shabby, and it still won't be shabby with Chris Jones headlining it. The dude's a monster, had like 15.5 sacks last year. And yeah, it's to be seen because I mean that's the key for them. Because they keep Joe Burrow upright and keep him from having a serious injury like he tore his ACL and wasn't able to finish out that year. But the year he did come back. He went to the Super Bowl. So put better pieces in place to protect him. Draft and then add a. I mean, well, I think they're mostly good on the offense. The defensive side they worry about, but just get put enough competent pieces there to be able to get to disrupt and at times stop Patrick Mahomes, and I think you like your chances there. All right, the Cleveland Browns fighting for second place here, but a very steady squad, but really how will Deshaun Watson how will he play this year? He had all the controversy, still got some of it following him this year with women wanting that money. I mean, he was dumb, arrogant, dumb, stupid motherfucker. I mean, let's just call it what it is. I mean, I have no sympathy for this dumbass. But they did make a lot of signings this offseason. Dalvin Tomlinson brought over from the Chargers. Not for the Chargers, from the Vikings. A big plugging D tackle. Elijah Moore, nice slot receiver. Ogbo Oronko, nice pass rusher from the Houston Texans. Anthony Walker, solid linebacker. Juan Thornhill, underrated safety. Sion Takitaki, and a decent option. Definitely a good depth signing. Quarterback Josh Dobbs, a good third stringer. But Jacob Brissett, a good a big loss for them as that number 2 quarterback clipboard holder. Greedy Williams, depth, but they didn't really value him. Kareem Hunt slowing down. And Dearness Johnson was the one that they might have elevated him to number 2, but he went to the Jags. But the burning question for the Browns: have the Browns succeeded in bringing their front 7 up to snuff? So maybe, we don't know, but they're probably not done adding pieces to it. And we'll see what else also do. Could they add to that secondary by way of safeties and the pass rush. I think they've done good with adding a good running mate for Myles Garrett, but we'll see, can they hold up, because I mean it's a competitive division, and the Steelers, I mean they gotta not lose to their older big brother who they've eaten the score with nowadays, because the Steelers are weak. And we get to them, man, they're battling for anything. They're going to be 4th in this division. They're still the weakest team in here, which compared to some divisions, they would actually be number 3 or potentially number 2, but it says a lot about the AFC North. All right, they added Isaac Seumalo, the Eagle, one of the starting 5, who just was a beast, a monster, but he's signed to Pittsburgh now, so thank you for your services, sir. Cole Holcomb, a solid linebacker, can be a decent option. Average starter at the very worst. Larry Ogunjobi, I mean, if he can stay healthy, we'll see. Patrick Peterson coming off a good bounce back season, but he's 32. Keanu Neal, we'll see. See if he's washed up or not. Nate Herbig, and a solid guard there. Lost Cameron Sutton, up and coming corner. Devin Bush, solid, but just didn't live up to the potential. Terrell Edmonds, solid safety, and didn't really get turnovers, but you could count on him to be in place, and a depth signing. All right, so the question for the Steelers, are the Steelers ready to level up and Kenny Pickett's second season? No. Even if he does take steps forward, it might not reflect in the record because, I mean, like I said, just playing in a tough division, and all the 3 teams above you, 2 of them most likely are going to make the playoffs. I mean, the Ravens could. It depends on a lot of things, but very least, I mean, the Bengals are winning this division, and then everybody else is fighting for scraps. So you make progress this season, you can call that a win. Will the pressure be on Tomlin? We'll see. All right, the AFC South, the Houston Texans, a big reset coming here. I mean, they're going to be at the bottom. Anything they show, they added a lot of this big signing. Larry Tunsil, they made him the highest paid tackle in the game. Jimmy Ward, a solid safety coming in. Shaq Mason, a nice guard coming over from the Patriots. Sheldon Rankins, definitely a talented D tackle when he can play to his talent level. Robert Woods, solid receiver, number 2, could be number 3. Dalton Schultz, a good tight end starter. brought over from Dallas. Devin Singletary, nice steal there from the not Titans, the Bills. Damn it, Denzel Perryman, a solid linebacker that could compete for a starting job. Case Keenum, good clipboard holder. Noah Brown, a depth receiver. Ogbo Oronko, big loss. OJ Howard, decent loss. Jordan Atkins, and not really. Philip Dorsett, depth. So, I mean, they had a lot of pieces that can help them this year. And we'll see. I don't know if these long-term deals on some of these guys, like Robert Woods. But they'll be better this year. And we'll see how D'Amico Ryan, will the influx of higher quality veterans help D'Amico Ryan to a faster start than his predecessors? I believe so. But it depends on all on how they manage the quarterback position. Does he have a whisperer back there with him, or because he's a defensive head coach, he's not going to be counted on or looked to lead and guide that guy. He could probably give him a few keys, but he's not equipped with the tools to teach him how to be a quarterback in this league. But and to marketably improve him in that category. But I mean, it's going to be just year growth. They're going to have a rookie quarterback. I don't know if they start him straight off the bat. Just don't destroy the guy. Build, building blocks. Put those in place so that you can progress year 2, year 3, and hey, it's always a fast clock these days. So we'll see how long of a leash they give D'Amico Ryans. That sounds bad, but yeah. Anyways, all right. Next, the Indianapolis Colts. They're also going to be a bottom feeder in the division. Added Gardner Minshew, who could start out for the rookie quarterback, or if they draft one. But they might be looking at the third best quarterback, or the third quarterback drafting from so very negligible. They re-signed EJ Speed, is good. Samson Ebukam, nice steal, underrated signing from the 49ers. Lost Stephen Gilmore, Bobby Okereke, talent. Paris Campbell went over to the Giants. Yeah, so I mean, they have a lot of holes to fill. So I mean, might just be a lost year, but one that can do for progress at quarterback. So can the Colts patch the holes and find a solution at quarterback? It depends. Next year would also be a good year to draft one. So you can also like they did for suck this year and then draft one next year. But we'll see how that plays out, because no team is gonna admit to tanking, but it'd actually be good if they did. All right, the Jacksonville Jaguars. I think they won this division last year. I might be wrong, but they give Chiefs a run for their money. If they could have actually, turned the knife a little bit more on that ankle, they might have actually advanced in the playoffs and been playing the Bengals. So you never know. But they held on to Evan Ingram and brought in Ernest Johnson. So not a lot. They have a lot of pieces in place, actually. And they get some kind of a fool's gold there with guys that played above their talent level, and just the stroke of luck and opportunity meets preparation. But they lost Jawan Taylor. It's a big loss for them. And Arden Key, good third down pass rusher for them. The question for the Jags: are the Jaguars ready to take the next step? That is a good question, because consistency. We've seen when they were half away from going into the Super Bowl to face the Eagles, and Tom Brady just showed them up, and they were on a downturn, stand back up, trending up with Doug Peterson. But I like to think that Doug's going to get them going and stay headed in the right direction. But who knows with the Jaguars? It's all about maturity, because their quarterback Trevor Lawrence did throw, was it 4 or 5 picks in that game? And they still came out back and won it against the Chargers. That's not going to happen against a better opponent, but hell of a medal, hell of showing a medal for them. But can they prevent themselves from putting themselves in that position, that situation to begin with? All right, Tennessee Titans here. They regressed this, past year, and it had to do with their quarterback, who's not seen as a guy that take them to the promised land, Ryan Tannehill. But it is what it is. He's the guy for now. They might try and sneak up and draft a guy. We'll see. Andre Dillard coming over from the Eagles. I think they're gonna look at him as a starter. They gave him a 3-year, $29 million deal. Could have made $30 million. I keep saying that, but I just would have liked that even 10 number. Give me that extra. Arden Key, a nice steal from a division opponent, the Jaguars. Azeez Al-Shaair, nice solid linebacker coming over from the 49ers. Sean Murphy-Bunting, a decent corner coming over from the Tampa Bay Bucks. So not a good guy. So they lost Austin Hooper, receiving tight end. Nate Davis, solid guard. David Long, good linebacker, and Robert Woods, solid receiver, but a down year last year for him. So are the Titans approaching the crossroads? They are at that crossroads. Derrick Henry is beat up and getting older. He's 29. Owed a lot of money, I think, on the last 2 years of his deal. So, I mean, and Ryan Tannehill, he's an older guy. They're going to need somebody behind him. I'm the third-round pick, the running quarterback out of Liberty, is the guy moving forward. So do they just go ahead and pull the trigger and invest this year or wait till next year? I think it would be better for them to wait till next year, but it's not looking like they're going anywhere. Like, they might be competitive at the very least, at the very best this year, but I think that's about it, man. Stick a fork in these Tennessee Titans. They ain't Giants. They're done. All right, the AFC West. The Denver Broncos, man, just a train wreck of a year. They did sign, some guys to help protect their investment. 250 million, almost a quarter of a billion. Sorry, I got my numbers. Almost a quarter of a billion there to Russell Wilson, and let him cook. But then the burnt in the stove, the oven. He burnt boiling water last year. That's how bad it was. Ben Powers, nice signing over for the Ravens. Zach Allen, kind of replacement there, but up and coming rising guy from Arizona. Alex Singleton, you re-sign him. He's kind of developed to a decent linebacker. Thankfully, because he sucked with the Eagles. And they lost Jeremiah Jones. That's the Allen swap there. I mean, he's kind of like canceling out. We'll see what happens with that. Graham Glasgow, don't know too much about him, to be honest. Probably a decent guy. But the question for the Broncos: can the Broncos get back on track under Sean Payton? I mean, this is kind of it for Russ. As far as like the last big stop. After this, he might just be a clipper holder because they're gonna be stuck with his contract though. But if Sean Payton, the quarterback whisperer, the quarterback guru, can't work with you, man, I don't know what I can tell you, bro. So we'll see. They have returning a very solid receiving core. Kind of like Javonte Williams, a solid running back. If he can regain his form from the previous year before he went out with the ACL injury, and the defense wasn't that bad either. They had like guys building blocks like Patrick Surtain, the rushing linebacker, Bradley from the Broncos. No, not from the Broncos. No, he went. I think he went to Miami, but I forget that they have some guys back there, decent linebackers and whatnot, but a very solid D coordinator that I wish would have signed with the Eagles, but it is what it is. But we'll see because Sean Payton, I think he's always had a solid, very very good defensive mind to work with him. He can work magic, but we'll see if he can get Russ on track or not. All right, the Kansas City Chiefs, the reigning NFL champions, kudos to them. They kind of stayed on edge, didn't take too many steps back. It might be just more of an even draw at this point, and they still have to draft. So they signed Jawan Taylor, lost Orlando Brown, signed Charles Omenihu, but they let what's his name, the edge rusher go, forget his name. Signed Mike Edwards. He's a up and comer maybe, but they lost Juan Thorhill, Richie James, and signed him, but they lost Juju Smith-Schuster. So you can see it's almost tit for tat here. Andrew Wiley, they lost him, but they have to draft a guy, I think. So it'll see they do have 10 picks. So the question for them: has Kansas City made the necessary moves to remain on the mountaintop? I definitely think so. Even if they took a step back, they still have that guy back there, Patty. And if you have him and decent guys on offense, they still have the Giants wide receiver they brought in over in a trade, Kadarius Toney. They still have Travis Kelce, obviously. Sky Moore, be a year older, and he might have to do just say for example they add the Tennessee burner. Justin Hyatt, I think. in the draft. Like, yeah, they'll be right in their wheelhouse. Keep them, right at the top there. So I mean, even if they slip, it's like even if the Eagles slip, I think we still just have a domineering side on the offense. So it will allow us to carry the team, and with him, he could carry the team. He's got he's a broad shoulder, so not worried about that. Las Vegas Raiders, man, it doesn't look good for them. Jimmy Garoppolo, decent quarterback. I mean, it's better than nothing, but he's been shown to just be, he can be above average, but he can also look like amateur at times. Josh Jacobs resigned him. Franchise tag, but and he's got a lot of mileage on him. Jacoby Myers, a nice signing to pair with Devontae Adams up there. Marcus Epps, a good steal from the Eagles there. Solid linebacker. Solid safety. Biggest loss to Derek Carr. Derek Carr better than Jimmy Garoppolo, I believe. Darren Waller, big tight end they sent out to the Giants for their third-round pick. I think of him like one of the biggest contracts, if not the biggest contracts for a tight end. Denzel Perryman, solid linebacker. Mac Hollins, decent third receiver. Clelin Ferrell, lost pick, 4th overall, and showed nothing for it. So, question for them, will New England West turn to a contender after a busy offseason? I don't think so. I think they're more stuck in the mud, just the same place or worse. Could be a regression. Josh McDaniels might get fired after this. I mean, people just keep looking at him as the wonder boy and giving him so many chances, but the dude's just proven time and time again. While he is smart, he doesn't have the leadership skills, able to captain a ship in the NFL. And just it is what it is. Some guys just aren't made to lead. I think he's a good side piece, boss, as an old coordinator. But other than that, all right, the Chargers. Eric Kendricks, a nice, solid linebacker signing for them. Trey Pipkins, I believe, a depth signing. Morgan Fox, don't really know much about him. Donald Parham, and maybe a decent option there. Biggest loss to Drew Tranquil, a solid linebacker, DeAndre Carter, good slot receiver for them last year. And special teams, Maven and Troy Reader, decent. Will the Chargers add enough depth in the draft to make it beyond Super Wild Card Weekend? They just have tough, sledding with the Super Bowl champions in their division and also competing with the Broncos. They're playing for second place here, and then it's just a tough sledding in AFC. So Justin Herbert, even if he takes steps forward, the defense is going to be lagging behind. And in the playoffs, just doesn't have enough to go past, I would think, the divisional round. If they do make it to I think they at AFC Championship at best, but they'll still lose to the Bengals. They'll still lose to Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs. And I think they'll lose Josh Allen and the Bills too. So just not good. Not good to be there in the AFC. All right. Not really have any news here, but they did vote on the GMs. And, hey, Howie Roseman was the best, man. Just, you can't beat the meteoric rise he had after being in the doghouse, post-Chip Kelly era. Got us to the Super Bowl. We won it. Got us to another one. We just, missed on winning that one. Defense stunk. He could have, made some moves better. But, I mean, balancing the cap, with these contracts forward thinking, with the, foresight to draft Jalen Hurts, as well as, foresee free agents saying their ascension before it happens. Like, for example, with Javon Hargrave signing him over for the Steelers when he was known as a run stopper. He exploded as a pass rusher, especially in the last 2 years. Just, man, his vision for the franchise, and just not being afraid of making moves, trades. And we've had 2 years running now, this last year and this year, and we traded the picks, 2 first-round picks, and that allows us so much maneuverability. He might actually do it again this year, and we'd be loaded with 12 picks. Might have, imagine going to the next year with 2 1s, 2 2s, and 3 3s. Man, that would be fucking nuts. So, I mean, give the dude his props, hats off to him. And he earned that number 1 spot. But let's really see what he can do this offseason. Way of trades, before the season, and picking up, guys from the bottom of the roster, on the scrap heap. guys that were cut, as well as in the draft. Man, I believe in Howie, man. Let this man go shopping and give him that black card. And I ain't saying this one. Anyways, we're getting up out of here. I mean, you're not even watching, though. It's all good because, as always, it's fly, Eagles fly, and let's motherfucking go! Like, comment, share, and subscribe if you like. Thanks for watching. Check me out at Cintron, Cintron Anime, Cintron Life, or Cintron Laughs, or other social media.